Hey guys, AuspiciousAussie here, and welcome to episode 39 of the Local to Global, here with the Canadian Wrestling Coalition. And of course, the last episode it was a really big one. Of course, the double pay-per-view being Wrestle War, and of course Warzone as well. Now we kind of find ourselves, we're heading into Pure Disrespect, which will probably be next. Well, it'll definitely be next episode, because we're going to try and run for the 3 TV shows in our first 3 weeks here. But we don't really have a challenger. I mean, the only match that we actually have kind of booked ready is Cooper Christie taking on Wicked Lester. But apart from that, it's kind of almost a blank slate, really. I feel like we are going to continue with a few of the storylines that we've got going on at the moment. I think Mobstar and Angry Gilmore will finally, at the end of this month, we'll have our sort of culmination for that storyline. But I think what we're going to do, without giving too much away, we're going to use one of our younger prospects that I would say really impressed me last episode in particular. Not exactly in the ring or anything like that. It was more just promo work. And I was kind of, I guess, overlooking this person a little bit. We've got, quite a few new signings that have come into the company that are, they're a lot younger than some of the older guys I was bringing in earlier. As we have Charlie Corner being offered a contract by Black Maple. But yeah, this guy, I'll show you, we'll get into the show and I'll show you exactly how I'm going to set the main event up. It's going to be a fatal 4-way #1 contenders match. Fine, didn't really need Kavanaugh for tonight anyway. And we will go to Brampton. Over 9,000 fans expected, so that's actually pretty good. All right, so let's get that. Actually, let's do the main event first. So it's going to be a fatal 4-way. We're going to have Angry Gilmore in there. We're going to have. We're not going to have Mobstar. We're going to have John Greed, because obviously John Greed, I really want to try and push him. I know he's quite old, but him being the leader of Wall Street Enterprises, I feel like could be a really, really good storyline for us. Anyway, we need James Diaz, and then we also need, who was the last person I was going to put in? I've completely forgotten who I was going to put in the match. There was one more person that I had in my mind. Oh, it was Graham Gorman. Yeah. There we go. So he's done. Well, I mean, technically, John Greed and Graham Gorman are still in the same match. Even though they did have that sort of handicap match. So that's pretty interesting. Anyway, we're going to give it 16 minutes here. Purely because Angry Gilmore is actually in the match. However, our loser is going to be John Greed. I think he has to lose at this point. Because he has the lowest popularity. Apart from Diaz. Actually, I think they might be the same popularity. Him and Diaz. Pretty interesting. I'd have to actually take a quick little look here. So, I mean, just looking at stats there as well. So he's 56 pop, and Diaz, I think he's about 50. Oh, he's 59. So he's actually got better popularity. That's interesting. And of course, Graham Gorman seems to be upset, which is unfortunate. Hopefully Gilmore's going to be fine. Yeah, Gilmore should be fine because I think he does have pass the torch in his contract. All right, so let's do that other match as well, the one I mentioned previously, which is going to be Cooper Christie taking on Wicked Lester, of course. Lester getting involved in the Canadian title match, essentially costing Cooper Christie. So Christie's going to get a little bit of revenge here. And I think that's going to be pretty beneficial. Let me just double check that main event. Yeah, that's fine. All right, so what else have we got? Hopefully Angry Gilmore doesn't lose too much popularity from that main event. I don't think he will, but you just never know. Okay, so up next we're going to have a #1 contenders match for... Actually, did we already do that? We already did that, didn't we? Yeah, we did that on Warzone. Yeah, okay, so the crew... I was literally going to make the crew #1 contenders here anyway, but they are already a #1 contenders. I mean, seeing as that's the case, we might just give them a bit of an easy victory here against Los Hermanos 2. Just a short little 10-minute match. And give Public Enemy the victory there. Because, of course, Swole does have a little bit more popularity than him, so we need to try and at least try and get it balanced a little bit. I think that'd be pretty decent. I think our next match, I want to do something with Jack Jackson, but I'm just not 100% sure what we should be doing with him. I think him and Gonzalez could probably do a decent match together. And, I mean, Gonzalez, like I said, I don't know if it was last episode or the episode before, but it's looking like Gonzalez is probably going to be a mid-carder for the rest of his career. He doesn't have the... He's already capped with his basics at 69, which is super, super unfortunate. I think we can call this one as well. Got really good... well, he's got decent psychology. And then Jackson has, you know, really good basics and psychology, to be fair. That'll be another decent little victory for him. What else are we going to do? Let's have Giant Brody take on... Good question. Who is he going to take on? Pepper? Have we done this match before? I'm not 100% sure if we have. Yeah, they've never actually versed each other. It's gonna be a squash. It's only Pepper Pelton. Really not too worried about him, especially squashing him. It might almost be time for Pepper to go. Not terrible, but I mean, he's got chilly momentum. I don't really see him ever really doing anything for us. He's still only young though. He's only 23. I mean, if we got a developmental, we can probably keep him around and do something with him, I guess, eventually in the future, if he develops well enough. How much time have we got? 66. Let's go a tag team match. Let's go Young and Wasted. And I guess I can just take on some jobbers. Let's go Chip Martin, Portland Bartlett. We'll give him 10 minutes. Yeah, Brett Kyle can win as well. Why not? All right, obviously that's non-title as well. That's looking pretty good. Let's do some angles first. So I think for the main event, I'm going to go Angry Gilmore. That'll be pre-main event. And then I guess post-main event we will go with Diaz, and I guess he can cut a promo onto Davis. Let's go double entertainment, and we'll script both of them, so it'll be a proper like back and forth between the two. Might be worth me actually putting Diaz into a proper storyline. So where is Diaz now? So Diaz would be in this one. We can basically just end that storyline now. And I guess we may as well just add him in just straight into this storyline, because I mean, essentially Diaz and Davis, they do have a little bit of a rivalry themselves. I think Diaz, because Diaz was a world champion back when we were a bit of a smaller company. I think it was Davis that actually beat him for Davis's second title reign, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was, but that was a long time ago now. I guess it is also him, you know, renewing another old rivalry. Right, another thing I think I want to do is, of course, we signed Lucinda Lush. I think we're going to make her Cooper Christie's manager, because I was a little bit wrong about Christie's entertainment stats. He's nowhere near as good as I originally thought he was. So yeah, he's going to have a manager. I think it'll be beneficial. He's got really good entertainment stats. And, I mean, at the very least, hopefully she'll actually improve him Let me actually put her with him straight away. I didn't mean to click that. Alright, so manager will be Lucinda Lush. Save. There we go. Easy. Actually, let's also add her into that New Boys storyline. And she could essentially manage both of them, like Zach as well. Zach Powerson. But he does have pretty good entertainment skills himself. So I'm not sure if I want to actually do that. Anyway, let's go with Giant Brody, 4-minute menace angle. Pretty much a given at the moment, considering he's in a squash match. I think we also want to go young and wasted. So Brett Kyle and, of course, Taylor. Oopsies. I think we'll script them as well. We'll give them some success as well. And I mean, their angles, they're actually not too bad. So I'm expecting maybe like a 70 for them, considering they've actually grown like a decent amount in popularity. Should be pretty good. All right, what else? Jack Jackson. I think we should be able to give him an angle as well as the match. So just quickly book that one as well. I mean, it's looking like a show. Looking like a show. I mean, we only have 3 minutes, but yeah, that looks pretty good actually. Next thing I want to do, we're gonna have a dark match here. We're gonna have the Moneymakers taking on Feel Good Inc. On the pre-show. We might do another pre-show match here as well. But let's give Steven the victory, because Jackpot's actually, believe it or not, Jackpot Jordan is the most popular out of Wall Street Enterprises, which is pretty funny. You know, considering that John Greed is actually the leader. And we're really not using a lot of our talent. We've got Davis, Mobstar, Sinner, and Zeus, all of which that are not being used. I do want to have the Golden Goats. I know they're technically not together, but I do want to have them take on, I think, Sono and Zach. Hopefully just to get a little bit of improvement out of both these guys. That'd be pretty cool. And we'll give the victory to Zeus there as well. All right, that should be pretty good. I feel like that's going to be a really good match on the pre-show as well. So let's run it. We start off with a 65 rated match where we have the Moneymakers defeating Feel Good Inc. in 12:23. We had Stephen Parker pin Zippy Deverell with a Future Shock. It's a good match. 65 is pretty solid, especially for it's only 12 minutes long. Also, 9,000 attendance. Expected, only 7,600. I'm assuming that's because we didn't use the guys on the actual main show. I'm thinking that's what it might be. Anyway, it might have something to do with the main event as well. Not as maybe high quality. I knew this was going to be a good match. We get a 79 rated match on the pre-show as well. The Golden Goats defeating Yuta Sono and Zach Powerson in 11:45 when Zeus Maximilian pinned Yuta Sono with a Thunderbolt. And of course, Davis, Head and Shoulders, and Zach being the weak link. Unfortunate, but really good match. And like I said, hopefully we get a little bit of rub off. If he can improve in psychology, I feel like psychology is the only thing that is literally letting Zach Powerson down at the moment. His basics are pretty much the best we have in the company, really, between him and Angry Gilmore. Anyway, we kick the show off with a pretty solid, I said it was going to be a 70. It's a 67 for Young and Wasted, but it's still really good. It's still what I'm kind of expecting from our current tag team champions. They go into action getting a 62 rated match where we do have Young and Wasted defeating Chip Martin and Cortland Bartlett in 10:25 when Brett Kyle pinned Cortland with a shooting star press. A really good match considering, these two are jobbers basically. So yeah, it's solid enough. Like I said, Young and Wasted, Taylor and Brett, they're very, very impressive. All right, we then go into a 68 rated menace angle from Giant Brody. Brody's push is coming, but I think I want to continue just to utilize him in squash matches, and just to continue doing what he's currently just dominating the lower mid card, whereas we'll push him up to maybe upper mid card status in about a month or two. All right, we then go into his squash match, only getting a 33. We have Giant Brody defeating Pepper Pelton in 5:06 by pinfall with a single-handed chokeslam. Giant Brody really off his game. But yeah, I mean, it is what it is. I should probably not do these squash matches anymore, because the thing with Giant Brody is he's actually really, really good. And we're kind of underutilizing him by having him in these squash matches. I feel like he'd be much better off actually having a decent, 10-minute open match with somebody else. He would still win, obviously, but these are, obviously they're dragging the show ratings down a little bit as well. As you can see, it was really off his game. So there might be a bit of a consistency issue there as well. Yeah, as you can see, penalized for inconsistency. So hopefully that's not an actual issue, but I feel like that's happened before with one of these squashes. So I'll keep an eye on that. Like I said, we might just go to proper 10-minute matches for him. All right, we then move on to a 62 rated angle from Jack Jackson. Like I said, at the moment, he's probably he's on the fast track to the main event. And 62's very solid. As you can see, he's definitely the best we have on the microphone. I think he might actually be better than Angry Gilmore stats-wise for the entertainment stats. I might be wrong. We can actually check that after this show. Yeah, enjoying working without a script. Leading into his pretty impressive match, we get a 59 rating. We do have a bit of an upset. Jack Jackson defeating Marco Gonzalez in 12:11 by pinfall with an implant DDT. Yeah, I mean, it's a good match. Interesting, Marco's still actually outperforming him, but obviously Marco has about 48 popularity to Jackson's 37, I believe. So, I mean, it's not that far off the in-ring performances, but, the popularity, that's over 10 points. So once he's up to about 48, being Jack, he could be well above a 55. We'll have to wait and see. Anyway, moving on to a 53, where we have, 53 rated tag team match. We have the Crew, our number one contenders, defeating Los Hermanos 2 in 9:48 when Public Enemy pinned Louise Frost with a tombstone pile driver. I mean, it's a good match. It's okay. Of course, this pairing of Los Hermanos, they're really not the best that we have. So they're kind of like, I would consider Ray a mid-carder, but Louise is probably a lower mid. If we're judging it on that. The ratings tell a story. Sorry, the in-ring performances. Only a 32 for Louise, and then Ray had a 46. Goes to show a lot. Alright, we then go into a 49 rated angle. So this is a lot better. A lot better than what Cooper was getting by himself. So I think this is actually a really good decision. And as you can see, Lucinda Lush did a masterful job improvising. So we'll probably continue to not script her. But yeah, basically she comes out with Christie, says that, she's going to be his new valet or manager, whatever you want to call it. And they're going to do some very interesting things together. And basically Lucinda says that she's going to be the key element to Cooper winning the Canadian title. And of course, that's his kind of, it's essentially his goal at the moment. He wants to get a bit of revenge here tonight against Leicester. As far as her gimmick goes, her gimmick is literally a valet. And it's an extremely marketable gimmick. Will sell far more merchandise. But it does give a large penalty to psychology. And she doesn't wrestle. So that's perfectly fine. Anyway, moving on to the match. Actually really good. We get a 61 rated match. Cooper Christie defeating Wicked Leicester in 12:02 by pinfall with a top rope elbow drop. always a bit of a mouthful getting that one out. But yeah, super solid match there from Christie, getting a 59 in-ring performance. I mean, a solid 45 from Leicester as well, but as you can see, they have great chemistry together, and it showed in their performance. So, yeah, fair play to them. I might actually do this match again in the near future. I think pretty impressive. A 61 out of Leicester. I mean, Christie's decent. We already knew that, but for him to be pulling that, obviously the great chemistry helps a lot. But good to see Leicester doing something, away from Doomsday Generation. All right, we then go into the pre-main event angle, getting a 100 rating. Angry Gilmore, as you'd expect, just doing what he does. He's a 100 rating machine with his angles. It truly is. He has an angry promo, and he knows how to do it well. As you can see, does deserve better announcing, better color commentary, but ultimately there's no one available. So there we go. Anyway, the main event, it does pretty well. I mean, it's lower than the pre-show tag team match between Golden Goats, but it's still a 75. I'll take it. Like I said, when you look at this match, the only real main eventer that stands out, I mean, I guess you could consider Graham a main eventer as well, but Angry Gilmore is kind of the only one there that has a real significant, popularity about him. 56 for Greed, 59 for Diaz, I think 67 for Gorman. So he probably would fall into the main event category, but definitely these two at the moment are upper mid carders. So yeah, it's a solid match. We do have James Diaz defeating Angry Gilmore, John Greed, and Graham Gorman in 1606 when James Diaz pinned John Greed with an Asian thumb spike. A good match. And again, we did actually keep Gorman strong because he was complaining. So essentially, it could have been a little bit higher as well. It's worth mentioning that. Anyway, solid 73 in ring for Diaz there. When you consider that he's a lot lower popularity than Gorman, Gorman only got a 76. Kind of goes to show how talented Diaz actually is. I'm looking forward to this next angle here. But yeah, James Diaz, new #1 contender for our unified world title. And we finish the show off with an 84 rated angle here. We have James Diaz and Davis Wayne Newton. Of course, he comes out from backstage and essentially starts to congratulate Diaz, but says that, the congratulations only go so far, because there's no way that, Diaz is going to be able to take the title away from Davis. Davis, I mean, I mentioned it earlier, but Davis, I guess in this promo, would mention that he was the one that took the world title, originally away from Diaz. And I guess he wants to throw a little bit of shade as well. Davis could say that Diaz has essentially done nothing since losing the world title. He had a failed tag team with Jack Pride, and nothing really came of that. So yeah, throwing a bit of shade. All right, overall show rating, pretty good. We get a 78 rating there. Not too bad, but I don't think, not good enough to increase our popularity in Ontario, because we did actually get it up to 74 in the previous episode. I think we also got up to 31 popularity in Alberta, so we're only 4 points away, and that's looking pretty good. I think we're just under 3 months now until our events deal with Ondem runs out, so it could almost be perfect timing, I think. Anyway, we get 326,000 viewers there for Coalition Wrestling. Take a quick look here at CWA. Interesting, they actually went for the women as the main event here, and it actually was worse performing compared to the other match, the Mob. That's a different tag team actually. Interesting. That's a really weird way to book a show. They had 4 backstage angles and then 4 matches afterwards. Seems a little bit strange to me, but they'll do whatever they want to do. Anyway, let's take a look at the size. So yeah, that's basically what happened. I think we actually went up 1 point. Yeah, we've gone up 1 point in Quebec. So yeah, it's now 55. Anyway, let's take a quick little look. I want to look at Jackson. He gained a little bit of popularity. So he started at 37. He's up to 39 in Ontario now. So that's decent. Gained 2 points by beating Gonzalez and having the angle as well. What's our Lucinda? So she's 18 popularity. So she's already started to gain. Gained 1 point just from that promo. So that's not too bad. Where is he? Cooper. Cooper. I don't think he gained it. I think he's already... Yeah, he was already 46 going into this month. So he's, yeah, still 46, unfortunately, but shouldn't hopefully take too long. Yeah. I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Anyway, Diaz did not gain anything. I don't really know how that's possible. He literally won a 75 rated match, then had a following angle that he was rated on entertainment with. Just don't get it. Anyway, his psychology's looking good. His basics are unfortunately capped at 75, which is probably the bare minimum I would have for a main eventer. So he's kind of lucky that that's where it is. Because if it was similar to Gonzalez, below 70, we probably wouldn't push him anymore. But he is lucky. He is lucky. Anyway, yeah, I mean, there's nothing else to really check here. Need some more psychology there. I mean, Powerson's got 85 basics, so he's pretty much good to go. Good to go. Just need that psychology for him. Anyway, let's advance to the next show. I'm gonna take a sip of water, as I always do. Yeah, I mean, so far so good. So Diaz is going to be our #1 contender, going into Pure Disrespect, which is obviously August's pay-per-view. I do have plans for our next pay-per-view as well, as far as our #1 contenders go. You guys might be able to predict it, because obviously we do have a pretty big storyline going on at the moment, which is about to continue on this next show. Actually, I think what we'll do... I was going to do a tag... Actually, I think we will do a tag team main event. I mean, it can essentially bring... Well, it will bring a lot of different rivalries back around. Oh, lovely. Pay rise request from John Greed. Anyway, it is what it is. Ooh, Willie LaRue. Now, if you guys watched my TCW series, I did sign Willie LaRue from SWF. Well, from RAPW, SWF's developmental. The guy's pretty incredible. He's really good in the ring. Really good. As you can see, he also has really good entertainment stats as well. So he'd be fairly similar to Jack Jackson. I'm not too sure. We just signed Matty Faith as well. I feel like I don't want to go too crazy on the signings. But I feel like I have to get Willie. Willie's my boy. He was my boy. He was one of my boys on the TCW live stream series, but we'll bring him in. We got the chance to bring him in. I may as well just get it over and done with and get him in. I guess he's just another, decent prospect for us to try and push up. I mean, putting him actually in a tag team with Zach Powison might be the way to go. It very well could be the way to go. Because we're kind of already doing something with Cooper. Obviously, Jack's, we're just, pushing him as fast as possible. Even though, technically, Cooper has better popularity than Jack does at the moment. I guess it could also be argued who's actually the better talent. Interesting, Vita is available. Another really good manager. This one's actually from TCW. Looking like it's going to be pretty expensive though, so I think we'll take a miss on that one. Here's Willie. Willie's signed. I have to wait another 27 days. Casey Valentine. Okay. He's kind of the first wrestler that's kind of taken my fancy, in regards to a big money signing. Technically, it wouldn't actually even be that much. Ooh, I'm just thinking, like, it's going over or through my head just what he could do with Davis Wayne Newton. They could have some seriously, seriously good matches. Why was he with FCW? Huh, interesting. His contract must have run out. Then he went to FCW. Okay. Part of me wants to go in. I feel like I should just do it. He's got decent enough popularity already. I don't know what to do. I think we've got to do it. I mean, if we don't get him, we don't get him. But at the same time, I think it's worth it just to go in and just try. I mean, all we can do is try. So go 20,000, 6 years. What's their offer? They're already doing 20%. I guess we have to go 20% as well. Also wants an extra $1,000. Lovely. We will actually be the front runner here. That's good, but likely they'll come back in for another bid. Anyway, let's not worry about that right now. Let's just try and get into this next show. He would be a seriously good signing, though. Definitely I mean, he would be like a mob star level signing. I feel like him and Mobstar are actually about the same level. If I show you Mobstar's profile right here, I should probably use Mobstar a little bit more. I mean, we are going to use him for the main event for this next show. And I think we're also going to give Cooper Christie another rematch in the next episode at the pay-per-view for the Canadian title. All right, so let's have a look at this renegotiated offer. That's pretty high. That's pretty high. Let's go 34,000. I don't really want to go any higher than that, to be honest. So let's just put it in. I mean, we're going 34. They're at what, 32, I think. Like I said, he's either going to choose us or he's going to choose them. We're giving a little bit more on the bonus, the signing bonus, but I mean, it's a bit of a toss-up at this point. Interesting. Taylor Norton entertained the locker room by organising a poker tournament. I wouldn't really expect that from him. That seems a little bit strange. Anyway, but we've got Angry Gilmore passing on some more tips on using psychology to Bowden Snoop. So where are we going? Let's go Mississauga for this show. Good to see the economy and the wrestling industry is still rising. But let's book our main event and I'll show you Mobstar's profile. So, one team is going to be Davis and Mobstar. The other team is going to be Angry Gilmore and James Diaz. So what's going to happen here is I'm going to go for 16 minutes. It is going to end... I was going to go a draw, but I feel like we have to kind of give Davis the victory onto Diaz, but it's going to be tainted. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense because it kind of devalues a number one contender, but at the same time, Diaz kind of has to lose. He has the lowest popularity in the match. But obviously, it's not going to be a true reflection because it's going to be tainted anyway. All right, so let's have a look at Mobstar. I should really use him a lot more because he is super, super talented. You know, the basics. I think he might even actually be more talented than Casey Valentine. I mean, the only thing that's better is Casey's technical. But Mobstar outdoes him with flashiness anyway, so... yeah, it's a weird one. Anyway, there we go. Okay. That's the main event. As far as the rest of the show goes, let's have a tag team match. And we're going to have Cooper Christie and Jack Jackson taking on Zombie Boy and Wicked Lester. Now again, we're still sort of continuing this same storyline. This time we'll have Christie, so he's going to pin Zombie Boy, which will of course lead to him essentially getting another title shot, even though he does technically deserve it anyway. This is the problem, because Zombie Boy is scatterbrain. We would have to call this match. But I'm not sure what's worse, the fact that Lester doesn't have the psychology required to call the match, or the fact that Zombie Boy can't remember a scripted match. I'll try called, because there is a decent amount of psychology in the match itself, but I mean, it's a little bit scary. A little bit scary doing that. As you can see, Angry Gilmore. Alright, so that's a good little tag match there as well. We do need something to split that up. Let's go with... let's have Papa Swole take on Brett Kyle. That's a good match. Again, that's playing into the whole tag team title storyline at the moment. That's should be pretty good. I think it still does need to be scripted though. That's fine. And I guess on that last show we can do can have Taylor take on Public Enemy. Do we have? Unfortunately, we don't have Kavanaugh, but that's all right. Okay, I think I want to give Graham Gorman a match. Not really too sure who he can actually verse. Because, I mean, he's technically still going against John Greed. But is he really? I feel like this storyline's almost been played out now, so maybe I don't. But he could take on Giant Brody. That's actually not a bad match. I kind of want to give that 20 minutes even. I know it's on TV. Might be worth just giving it 16, but it's gonna be a loss for Brody. I know I just kind of talked him up a lot I mean, it's not going to beat the main event, but it should be a pretty good match. Should be pretty good. Anyway, up next, we're going to have a 6-man tag. I think I want to go Goldstein. I think he can team up with Doc Hammond. And who else? Osono? Yeah, we'll go Osono. And I think they can actually take on John Greed and the Moneymakers, so Wall Street Enterprises. Give that 12 minutes, and I think we'll have Goldstein win. I think, yeah, it can be called. I'm pretty sure it can be called. So I feel like that's actually like I mean, so far, this whole show is pretty decent. All right. So I think pre-main event, we want to go Angry Gilmore and James Diaz. I don't think we need to script it. There we go. So that'll be pretty decent. Hopefully that'll get a little bit of popularity, or at least prevent Diaz from actually losing any popularity. I think up next, I maybe want to go Papa Swole by himself. I want to give Swole a bit of a test. Let's actually see what he can do. Yeah. I obviously think we'll have, once again, we'll go Lucinda and Cooper. I guess we may as well just throw Jack in there as well. Maybe have like a bit of a backup role in the angle itself. With his smoking his cigar. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. Just another angle. Hopefully they'll benefit and get a little bit more popularity from that. All right, what do we got there? We've got Giant Brody. Yeah, we'll go another Giant Brody Menace angle. I mean, it's just so easy just to go with a quick 4-minute angle on Menace. And then finally, we'll go with, I think, Wall Street Enterprises. Let's go John Greed, Jackpot Jordan, and Stevie Parker. And I think we will go entertainment for all three. And I think we'll script him as well. And we'll just advance their storyline as well. Nice. Alright, we need a storytelling match, which can be... Yeah, it can be this one. Why not? Doesn't really matter too much. Still really worried about that Wicked Lester problem we're going to have with the psychology. Or the lack of psychology, if you will. Alright, so what we're going to do here is go Los Hermanos 3. And I think they're going to take on Zeus and Zach. Again, it's more just to get Zach, hopefully, some psychology. A little bit of rub-off from Zeus would be decent. Problem here. I think, yeah. Alright, that looks pretty good. Let's just go with that. Alright, so we start the show off with a 60 rated pre-show match. We start off... Anyway, Zeus Maximilian and Zach Powerson have defeated Los Hermanos 3 in 11:55 when Zeus pinned Ray Caballero with a Thunderbolt. Obviously, Zeus head and shoulders above everybody else, and Zach being the weak link. However, Zeus was really off his game, so unfortunate. Good to see the attendance is a bit higher for this one. Still didn't break 9,000 though. Is what it is. Anyway, we then kick off the show with a pretty decent 72 rated angle this time from Wall Street Enterprises. I think scripting them might be... I mean, considering there's 3 people in the angle, I feel like scripting it is probably more beneficial than having all 3 unscripted. Because obviously there's more potential for it to fail, or for someone in the angle to not do well. So that might be a new strategy I use going forward. There are 6-man tag getting a 76 rating. Very solid. But we do have the team of Ozzy Goldstein, Doc Hammond, and Yuta Osono defeating Wall Street Enterprises, John Greed, Stephen Parker, and Jackpot Jordan. In 11:45, when Aussie pinned Stephen Parker with a golden shower. Unfortunately, yeah, Goldstein needs a gimmick tweak. But it should be fine. Should be fine. Anyway, it's a really good match. Very solid 79 in-ring performance from Goldstein. Alright, we then move into a 67 rated angle, Menace angle, from Giant Brody. As you expect. Pretty much, whenever I use him on the actual TV show, I'm probably going to do one of these Menace angles. Honestly, I don't even know if it actually raises popularity. I'm assuming it will have some sort of effect. Either way, I guess it's just a good average sort of rating for us to get on the TV show, which will, essentially help overall. Anyway, he has a really good match, getting a 72 with Graham Gorman. However, Graham Gorman actually defeats Giant Brody in 20 minutes, 20 seconds by pinfall with a Gorman aghast. Very solid performance there from Gorman with a 78 in-ring. But yeah, Graham Gorman and Giant Brody have pretty good chemistry as well. And it lifted the match. Always good to see those. So Gorman and Giant Brody, and then we had Lester and Cooper Christie. So finding some decent chemistry on this episode. I like it. Speaking of Cooper Christie, we move into his angle with Jack Jackson, getting a 58. And of course, Lucinda Lush. And yeah, both Lucinda and Jack, of course, Christie not actually speaking in the angle, just there looking good. And yeah, they both did really well without a script, so I'm pretty happy with that. And the performance of Jack Jackson was good. So he's a bit of a standout. That's interesting. All right, we then go into their tag team match, getting a 59. So even with Lester, struggling without the required psychology to call a match, the rating's actually a lot better than potentially, scripting the match would have been. That's a good thing to know. I think it just has less to do with the penalties. Like, I think the fact that he doesn't have the required psychology is one penalty, whereas Zombie Boy, I think, would be like 2 or 3 penalties for him not remembering the script. So it's an interesting thing. It might be a good workaround if we do have to do these sort of, I guess, tag team matches or 6-man tags, considering they are in a stable together. Anyway, we've got Cooper Christie and Jack Jackson defeating Zombie Boy and Wicked Lester in 12:21, when Cooper Christie pinned Zombie Boy with a top rope elbow drop. And of course, once again getting a pinfall victory on the Canadian champion, which will essentially get him a title shot at the Canadian title. Yeah, it's a good match, really good match. 57 from Zombie Boy. When it goes to show that he is actually really good, but he needs matches to be called in the ring. As you can see, Gilmore saying it's a bad idea for Lester. Anyway, we move into a 64 rated angle with Papa Swole. Solid. Yeah, it's impressive, to be honest. He did a masterful job of improvising interactions with the crowd. So, yeah, did really well off script. I mean, we know he's good. He's got a lot of potential. He could potentially be a superstar, really. But we're gonna keep him in the tag division for a while, and of course he's still a part of the crew stable as well. Even though Mighty Kavanaugh, yeah, I'm not too sure about Kavanaugh. Anyway, moving into his match, does really well, getting a 68. Where we have Papa Swole actually defeating one half of the tag team champions in Brett Kyle in 12:18 by pinfall with the pounce. It's a good match, considering both in-rings is a little bit, it's a decent amount lower than the actual match rating itself. So very solid. Really good performance there from Brett Kyle as well. All right, we then go into a 96 rated angle with Angry Gilmore and James Diaz. Basically the Bald Brethren, coming together, getting a bit of strategy worked out between them. And of course, Gilmore lending a bit of advice, a bit of old timer advice, if you will, to the young James Diaz. And as you can see, I mean, Diaz performed poorly, but even so, he actually benefited from having a hot catchphrase. Actually, they both did. They both have hot catchphrases, so definitely helping them a little bit. And yeah, once again, Gilmore doing good things without a script. The main event does really, really well. I had a feeling this one was going to be, pretty decent. Get an 86 rated main event here. Davis Wayne Newton and Mobstar defeating Angry Gilmore and James Diaz 1603 when the GOAT himself, Davis Wayne Newton, submitted James Diaz with an STF after blatantly cheating. Once again, the unified world champion cheating to win. He's done it before in his career, and we have to be pretty well certain that he'll do it again. But yeah, I mean, it's a solid match from everybody, really. Even Gilmore still putting in a solid performance with a 71. All right, let's finish the show. We actually get an 84 rated show. Very impressive. I wasn't expecting it to be that good. I think that's the same rating we got for Warzone as well, I think. Anyway, increases our popularity in 54 regions, so that is Ontario as well, which is nice. Considering we didn't actually get the increase on that first show of this episode, but it's looking good. We've also got one more TV show to do, and we'll have a look at this this contract for Casey Valentine as well. All right, viewing figures 384,000. So I think that's way up. It's up like 60,000 viewers from the last show, the last episode of TV. All right, size. No increases there, I don't think, but that's perfectly fine. Let's take a quick look at Diaz. Still at 59. Yeah, that. I mean, it kind of worries me a little bit, but at the same time, I feel like TV is very hard to improve. Although, I mean, Gilmore just gained a point of popularity, so don't really understand. Although Diaz did take the pinfall loss, I should mention that. So he potentially might have actually gained had we not made him lose that match. Anyway, it is what it is. The other guys I want to check real quick is Cooper. It's up to 47, so he gained 1 point from that show. That's good. I like that. And then, of course, where is he? Jack, who's now up to 40 popularity, so he gained another point. He's gained 3 points already this month. That's really good. Very, very decent indeed. All right, how's the merchandise doing? 52%. We're getting there. Halfway to level 6. Anyway, let's advance into the next and final TV show for this episode. What am I going to do on this one? That's an interesting question. I feel like I would like to have Mobstar in the main event in a singles match. And I kind of almost would like somebody to beat him. Maybe Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh would actually be a decent option, but I guess the real question is he actually going to be available for that show? I probably could have checked, but it doesn't matter. If he's not, we could maybe go Graham Gorman instead. Or even Goldstein. Actually, Goldstein would make more sense, I think. Probably even more sense than Kavanaugh. I think we'll go Goldstein. I think that's the play there. Ooh, we've got a contract. Oh, what a letdown. Good old Jack Pride. Okay. No, he extended his deal. Oh well. I mean, we gave him a better deal than they did. It is what it is. I mean, he would have been really decent, but at the same time, I am kind of just holding out. We're holding out for someone that's really, really good. AC Glenn. Perfect example. Anyway, Juggernaut Jones. We haven't really looked at this guy in a long time. Actually being picked up by ALF, which is the American League of Fighters, which is a new company that debuted. Okay, interesting. All right. Anyway, let's just get into that next show. Had to do a nice sneeze there. All right. So main event will be Mobstar Goldstein, I think. I think that's the way. And then we're going to have... Well, the way we'll book it is we'll have Angry Gilmore be involved, costing Mobstar the match. And of course, in turn, that actually gives... I mean, it gives Goldstein a victory. So, you know, he does kind of need a victory. And, I mean, just having those two in the main event itself... It's going to do pretty well. Hopefully it'll beat the 86 we just got in the last main event. That'd be pretty cool. I would enjoy it. It's so satisfying just getting a really high-rated main event. Especially for pay-per-view shows, but even for TV. When you know it's a good match, it feels good. Oh, poor Black Maple. I mean, they're really... And they're trying to sign our workers, but they're not going to have any of it because we're at war with them. Maybe I should just, just end the war. I don't know. I kind of don't want to end it. I want them to go out of business, but because I gave them that 500,000 extra, they've actually kind of sustained themselves almost. Let me show you them real quick. Yeah, so as you can see, still got 328,000 left. Okay, they're actually a tiny size company now, so they probably won't go out of business, I don't think. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they would actually go out of business. I mean, they're putting on really good shows, to be fair. Anyway, okay, let's get into our show. I mean, I feel like it would kind of be almost cheating, if you will, if I was to actually put them into debt, take away the 500,000 that I originally gave them. Oh, so good just not to have to meddle with anyone. It really is just solid. All right, where are we going now? We did Brampton. Let's go to Hamilton. All right. So main event, Goldstein, Mobstar. If I had to put a possibility, do I want to go for 25 minutes on this? I think I might go 25. I know it's TV, but it's a really good match. It is a really, really good match. All right, so Goldstein's going to win. Going to be tainted. Interference on Mobstar by Angry Gilmore. I think that's going to be the finish as well. There we go. That's a solid main event. I think a 90. It has the potential to get a 90, in my opinion. All right. What is next? You know what? Let's go for a 6-man. And I guess we'll go the new boys. So Cooper Christie, Jack Jackson and Zach Powerson. And they're going to take on Zombie Boy and Doomsday Generation. So this whole sort of storyline we got going on, I guess it's coming full circle right now. And I think I want to give Zach the victory. Obviously, the loser can just be Sinner. Yeah, I mean, we'll have to... Ooh, we have to call this match as well. You know what? Let's just call it. I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, let's just do it. There's going to be 3 penalties there, though. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Anyway. What else? Alright, we need the Taylor Norton Public Enemy match. So we'll do that one as well. Just a nice, easy singles match. Continuing our tag team title storyline. This one will go to Taylor. I don't think Public Enemy should really be beating Taylor Norton. Has nowhere near the amount of upside that Swole actually has. Or compared to Swole. I think what we want to do here is we're going to have the Golden Goats. They're going to come back. We're going to have Davis apologizing to Zeus. And they can take on red, white, and blue. Why not? Just a quick little 10-minute match. Storytelling. Let's give Zeus another win. He hasn't... I don't think he's... The match... I think, yeah, he hasn't had a match on TV since he lost. So the boys are going to come back together. It's going to be beautiful. I think we can call it, can't we? Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay. That's our storytelling. What else do we need? We need Diaz to get a victory over somebody. Could go with Sono, like old times. I mean, Brody just took a loss. Maybe Doc Hammond. Let's give it 12. Diaz to get the win. Hopefully Doc won't pick up any type of fuss. Okay, that works perfect. We're at 82. We might just leave it there because we are having a 25-minute thingy. So I'm going to go Aussie Goldstein pre-main event by himself. We're going to have a post-main event angle. Obviously, Angry Gilmore will cut a promo onto Mobstar. Keep that nice and simple there as well. That'll advance their storyline. Fresh start for Gilmore. So that'll be post-main event. I don't know what I just did there. Anyway. Yes, okay. Pretty much just messed up the entire show just then. Anyway. Have a bit of a tendency to do that. So next we need Davis and Zeusy Boy. And of course, we'll name this one. So Davis approaches Zeus and apologizes. Is that even how you spell apologizes? I don't think it is. Approaches Zeus and gives a heartfelt apology. Yeah, I feel like that sounds a little bit nicer. So the boys are coming back together. Once again, they love each other. Good stuff. All right, and then finally, let's go Diaz by himself. Actually, we also need to give a promo to Jackson and Christie as well. Actually, there's no real storyline for that one, is there? Ooh. Yeah, see, the thing is, if I give those guys an angle as well, which I do want to do, because like I said, we are trying to push them quite a lot. And then, yeah, Jack. I don't think we can put what's his name in there. I don't think that'd be beneficial for Zach, because I don't think he has enough popularity yet. Either way, it doesn't matter too much. Even if he could be in there, you know, it's not gonna be make or break. So, and essentially the angle will do better without him in the angle. So there we go. All right, that's the show. Pre-show. Let's have Rock City Stars take on Jay Silver and Bowden Snoop. How's Bowden's psychology looking now? 70 psychology. That's crazy. I really wish like Zach Powerson would get Angry Gilmore as his mentor. I feel like that'd be so beneficial. Anyway, let's just we'll go with that. That's just probably going to be the only pre-show match. I don't really want to go into too much detail here. I know we could be using them better and, you know, trying to improve other workers, give them more match time and stuff, but let's just get through the show. Alright, so we start off the pre-show with a 55 rated match between the Rock City Stars, and they defeat Jay Silver and Bowden Snoop in 11:41 when Stan Manor pinned Jay Silver with a rock and roller. Yeah, good stuff. Jay Silver's got a gimmick that's getting stale as well. Also, I forgot to change or tweak Goldstein's gimmick, so that might be a bit of a problem. It's fine. It's fine. It should be okay. All right, we then start the show off with an 88 rated angle from James Diaz. I mean, the Angry Gilmore effect kind of looks like it's rubbing off a little bit on Diaz. Like I said, he's an upper mid-carder, but I don't think he's that far off being like a main event player. If he gets like 6 more points in popularity, you know, around the 65 area, he'll be a main event talent. Even though I think he kind of already is. It's just the popularity that's letting him down. Anyway, his match gets a 71. We have James Diaz defeating Doc Hammond in 11:39 by pinfall with a thunderous powerbomb. Unfortunately, as you can see, these two have negative chemistry. They don't seem to click. So I guess we've found the 2 positive chemistries in singles matches, and now we've got 1 negative chemistry, which is, it's a good thing to also find out. You know, I guess I'm just glad, you know, it's not on a pay-per-view where it would kind of really matter, if you will. Still a really good match, despite the negative chemistry. So I'm pretty happy with it. We then go into a 91 rated angle. I'm glad this one actually did this well. But we have Davis Wayne Newton approaching his former friend. Well, I mean, they're still friends, but yeah, approaches Zeus and gives him a heartfelt apology. Basically says sorry for, you know, overlooking him, making or essentially trying to force him to take out Ozzy Goldstein in the Wrestle War match. And he says that, you know, despite being upset at the fact that they had to verse each other at Warzone, Davis was also proud that he managed to win the Wrestle War Rumble. And yeah, they have a little bro hug it out, and of course they're back together as the Golden Goats. That's a really good match, and that's the reason why I didn't split them up properly. Get a 79 rated tag team match. We have the Golden Goats defeating Red, White, and Blue in 9:41 when Zeus Maximilian pinned Americana with a Thunderbolt. And of course, Davis head and shoulders above everybody else in the match. Of course he is. 79. Better not beat the main event. That's all I'm saying. All right, we then move straight into another match. This one's a singles match. We get a 65 rating for this one. Taylor Norton defeating Public Enemy in just under 12 minutes by pinfall with a tumbleweed splash. Solid performance, really good. It's actually very similar to the other match between Swole and Brett Kyle. I'm thinking this tag team match, I'm hoping it will get a 70 at the pay-per-view. I feel like that'd actually be pretty decent. All right. We then move into a 50 rated angle. So this one's not as good. I think the last one was a 58. So a little bit lower. We have Lucinda Lush, Cooper Christie, and of course, Jack Jackson looking intimidating as ever with those sunglasses and the cigar. Of course, leading into a 6-man tag this time, which does pretty well considering we called the match and 3 people in the match don't have the psychology required. We still get a 57. So it goes to show it's better to call the match than to script it with Zombie Boy involved once again. So I think that's well and truly put that to bed. But we do have Cooper Christie, Jack Jackson, and Zach Powerson defeating Forces of Darkness, with Zombie Boy, Original Sinner, and Wicked Lester in 11:57 when Zach Powerson pinned Original Sinner with a press power slam. That's a really good match. Zombie Boy seems to keep improving because he got a 57 in that last tag team match. Now he's got a 61. So, a little bit strange, but we'll take it. And of course, a nice little win there for Zach. So, happy for him. All right. There's all the negatives coming up there. Anyway, we go into an 86 rated pre-main event angle from our boy Aussie Goldstein. And of course, big main event. Big main event coming up next. And of course, Goldstein really wants to get back to winning ways. You know, didn't have the desired result that he wanted for Wrestle War. You know, he wanted to win, get some more revenge onto Davis, but he fell short to Zeus. And yeah, I don't even think he wasn't even in the final 4. I don't think, was he? Kavanaugh, Diaz, Zeus. It might have been Goldstein. I can't remember. Anyway, doesn't matter. I think it was Mobstar, wasn't it? Anyway, doesn't matter. Main event. Yes, there we go. Perfect. That's a solid main event. A 91 rated match. That might be our 3rd best match? 2nd best. 2nd best, I think. We'll check it after this. But yeah, we have Aussie Goldstein defeating Mobstar in 25 minutes and 3 seconds by pinfall with a golden shower following interference from Angry Gilmore. So yeah, Mobstar, he's not going to be too happy. You know, Gilmore costing him a massive, massive main event in a really good match that was essentially ruined by Gilmore, you know, without getting a decisive victory for either man. But yeah, it's a solid match, man. Really good. 81 in-ring for Mobstar and a solid 80 there as well for Goldstein. So we know that this match is money between these two guys. The crazy thing is they don't even have that high popularity. Like, I think Mobstar has 69, and I think I'm not sure about Goldstein, actually. It's probably about the same in the high 60s, low 70s, somewhere around there. Anyway, one more angle. We get a 99 rated angle. Of course, Angry Gilmore, only one rated on entertainment in this one. But he basically says that, you know, he's going to make Mobstar's life a living hell up until the pay-per-view. And Mobstar better start thinking about Angry Gilmore again. You know, Gilmore's not going away. He hasn't forgotten what happened at the last pay-per-view when Mobstar beat Gilmore. So Gilmore wants a bit of revenge. He's going to take back the popularity that he lost from Mobstar that time. Because I think it was either 86 or something. 80, I think it was 86. Then he lost that match, went down to 82. So, you know, he's back up to 84. Potentially might be higher again. I hope Mobstar is anyway. Yeah. I mean, it's Gilmore. Enjoying the freedom off script. 99. Sucks that it wasn't 100, but it is what it is. Finish the show. We get an 89 rated show. That is decent. That's like 1 point lower than CWA's last TV show. Once again, still improving popularity, but 89. Is that our best ever show? I think that might be our best ever show. Hold on, let's take a look. I think that's definitely our second best match. But I think 88 is our best ever show. I think we just beat it. I literally think we just beat it. Oh no. Oh, I knew this was going to happen. The risk we take. The risk we take. Oh, he's kept the star quality though. He has kept the star quality. Thank God for that. Oh man, I was worried. He actually gained more sex appeal. I don't really know how that works. You know, he went down in size, but how did he go down in size? I don't understand that. Anyway, he's still toned middleweight. I wanted him to be a ripped heavyweight. Anyway, 394,000 viewers for that show. Definitely our highest viewer figure we've ever had, I think. And yeah, there you go. That was definitely our best ever show. We had two 88s previously. Unholy Alliance 4 and Coalition Wrestling. I think that show was our best ever match when we got the 95. But we actually just beat it. 89 rated TV show. Surprising. I didn't really expect it to be our best ever show. But there you go. Things are happening. Let's check the other match as well. Oh, okay. Technically, it's our third. Because we did have a 91 there as well, which was on Unholy Alliance 4. So, technically, it's slightly lower than Davis Wayne Newton and Angry Gilmore. But it's tied second with a 91. So, we'll take it. We'll take it. Anyway. Size, still looking the same. Still looking the same. 31-39. Yeah, 31-39. Okay. I mean, it's not too bad. We only gained 1 point in Quebec for this episode, but yeah, for this whole episode, technically. Why does he have morale issues? He's irritated at his gimmick. Oh, but we still can't change it. It's still too soon. I really, really dislike that. Anyway, let's check a few people real quick. Gilmore's still there. Cooper is still at 47, which was where he was sort of already at, so that's fine. I mean, he hasn't really gained anything. I mean, he's gained a little bit, I guess, since being here, but nothing too special. Where are we? Yeah, nothing for Jackson. He's still at 40, but I guess he actually had a good episode, gaining 3 points. Diaz, up to 60. I like it. I like it. That's good. That's real good. All right, who else? Mobstar. Mobstar's up to 70. Despite losing that match, he's actually gone up to 70 popularity. What about Goldstein? See, Goldstein's he's still at 69. Did he lose pop, or is he... So he was 69 at the start of August. He's still 69 despite winning that 91 rated match. I don't understand that at all. And finally, Zach. I think he's up 1 point. No, he's stuck at 28. Despite winning a match on TV just then. Anyway, that's going to be it for the episode, guys. It's been a really good episode, surprisingly. I didn't really expect it to be our best ever show. Just had no idea. Anyway, if you enjoyed, make sure you smash the like button, show your support for these videos coming out. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Really does mean a lot to me. And we're on the way to, 1,600, 1,600 subscribers. Pretty cool. I never really thought that I would, gain this many subscribers in general. And it's just such a good feeling seeing people that, really, I mean, every time you subscribe to someone, you're essentially buying into, well, you're not buying anything, it's free, but you're essentially investing yourself into their channel. And that's the way that I see it. So I really do appreciate it, guys. Make sure you turn on the notification bell as well. Apart from that, as always, take it easy and goodbye.